happy welcome. Greetings and good cheer. Happy welcome. We are glad you are here. God has made promises to use you for us. Happy welcome to music class. Good day, everyone. You're welcome to music class. Today, we are going to be discussing fundamentals of music. Fundamentals of music. This is not new to you. In JS1, you were taught elements of music. Elements of music is the same as fundamentals of music. When we say fundamentals of music, we mean materials out of which music is made. For instance, if you want to make soap, the raw materials you put together and the end result will give you soap. So that's fundamental in soap making. In music now, we want to talk about those things that we can't do without in making music. So we have a lot of them, but for the purpose of this class, we'll be discussing just 9 of them. And the first one is sound. Why is sound the first one? Sound is very crucial in music because we deal with sound in music. If you have a room full of musical instruments without anybody playing it, you won't appreciate it. You won't enjoy it until someone picks up that musical instrument and plays it. It is when that you will appreciate music. So sound is very important in music. And what is sound? Sound is what is heard as a result of vibration of two objects. When you clap your hands down or you put two things together, vibration occurs and the resultant effect is the sound we hear. Now, when we talk of sound, is it every sound that makes up music? No. So not all sounds we hear around are actually musical. So we classify sound into two. We have the regular and irregular. And the irregular is noise. The regular one is tone that we deal with in music. So also, when we have tone, what differentiates tone from noise? Tone must have 4 properties, and that's pitch, quality, duration, and intensity. So this is what differentiates tone from noise. So sound, like I said, can be organized or unorganized. So we deal only with the organized sound. That's the first fundamental of music. The second one is pitch. Now, when you hear sound, before that sound could be musical, it must have that you should be able to differentiate between the height and depth. That is, the sound must you should be able to measure how high that sound is and how low the sound is. So pitch is the degree of loudness or loudness. How loud or how high or low a musical sound is. That's pitch, the depth or height of sound. Then the third one is tempo. Third one is tempo. Tempo means speed. Tempo means speed. That is how quick or slow a musical sound is. Most of the time, when composers write music, they will specify how they want the music to move. Whether the music should be slow, in a flowing manner, or it should be quick. So that's tempo. Now we have dynamics. Dynamics. This is the expression of how musical sound should be produced. Thank God dynamics is following tempo. I just mentioned it now. That if I compose music and the music is notated and I need to put instruction, the specific way the music has to be performed, I have to use dynamics. So there are different terms that we use as dynamics. We have ones that has to do with the degree of loudness, the tempo, like we mentioned, degree of loudness, we may say crescendo, we may say piano, we may say pianissimo, and so on and so forth. Then the tempo now, we may say accelerando, we may say adagio, we may say largo, and so on and so forth. All those are dynamics. Then the fifth one is melody. melody. Melody is the main tune of a piece of music. It is the arrangement of notes in pitches. Like I sang at the beginning of this class, what I sang, we can call it melody because it has no part. Until I have someone singing something different from what I'm singing. We may be singing the same text, but that person is using another note entirely, another software entirely to cover what I'm singing. That's it will not be melody again. So, but if we decide to sing just one line of music, that's the melody. Then this next is harmony. Now, melody and harmony, they work hand in hand. So if I decide to play something else aside melody, it becomes harmony. So melody is simply the clothing of melody. If I decide, harmony is the clothing of melody. If I decide to cover up my melody with some other notes, maybe 2, 3, or 4. So the melody has become harmony. So harmony is the clothing of melody, like I said, the combination of 2 or more musical sounds to form chord. So that is harmony. Then number 7 is texture. Texture, this refers to the number of layers as well as types of layers. That is melody lines used in composing and how the layers are related. So texture this time around could be, monophonic, it could be polyphonic or homophonic. When you have polyphonic, that's probably you have 4 parts. And when you have homophonic, that's probably you have a single line melody being accompanied with piano or with organ. And then the accompaniment will now be in chord. Now, the last but not the least, that's timbre or tone color. Timbre or tone color. This is the quality of sound or voice of instruments. For instance, how do you differentiate when you hear different musical instruments at once? Let's say a violin is being played aside a trumpet. Now, you are hearing violin and trumpet at the same time. How do you differentiate between these instruments? How will you be able to pick the sound of violin from that of trumpet? And that's tone color. Naturally, the sound of violin will be mild, will be smooth, will be, it won't be that harsh. But trumpet will be loud. In fact, you may have to even strain your voice, your ears sometimes, to hear the sound of violin under the trumpet, because the sound of trumpet will almost overshadow the sound of that of violin. So these are the fundamentals of music we have for this moment. Now, the last, maybe your junior schools, you have learned some others, put everything together. We still have more, but for the purpose of this class, this would be the end of the class. Thank you for listening.